Okay, so with our algorithm, we have our bus that we're starting here. We have to tell our bus to start. Our bus moves how many spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then what do we have to tell our bus to do?
Go left.
But before he turns left, what does he do? All right, so he stops, and then we tell him to turn left, and he moves how many spaces? 2, and then we tell him to?
Stop.
All right, and then do we want him to turn left or right?
Left.
All right, so we tell him to turn left, and then we tell him to move how many spots?
2.
All right, so 2, and then we tell him to do what?
Oh, stop.
All right, we got to tell him to stop, and then what way does he turn now?
Right.
Okay, so then we tell him to turn right, and then we tell him to move how many spaces?
2.
All right, so 2 spaces, and then he has to do what?
Stop.
And then he turns where?
Right.
All right, so then we tell him to turn right, and he moves how many spots?
1.
And then he does what?
Stop.
Yep. And then we tell him to turn. What direction is that?
Left.
All right, so we tell him to turn left, and then he moves how many blocks? 1, 2,
Wait.
because that's a crosswalk. So we tell him to move how many blocks? 1, 2, 3. All right, and then what do we tell him to do?
Turn left.
Nope,
No,
before he
stop.
turns left, yep, that's right. He has to stop, and then he turns left. You're right. And then he moves how many?
2.
All right, and then he has to do what?
Stop.
All right, after he stops, what direction does he turn?
Right.
All right, so then we tell him to turn right, and he moves how many more spots before he's at the museum?
2.
1, and then I guess 2 to the museum. All right, so now what you do from here
Oh, that's a lot of.
is that you take this and you turn it into your algorithm or your code. That you would have a specific box to tell it to move or to go some direction. And then maybe for stop, you have it as that.
But how about the turn?
Okay?
Do we need to do 2 different turns?
Yes, I would. So here, when we started from the school, how many did we move forward? 4. Okay. So,
Does each turn need to change to a different box?
well, each command needs to have a different shape. So move 4 blocks, and we'll just say forward, and then this could always mean stop.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Do you need to change the left, turning left and the right a different shape?
You could, or you could just, if you're turning, you could make that a shape by itself. So maybe every time you turn, it's a circle.
Okay, I'm just gonna do
So
it.
after the stop, we turned which direction? Left. So this circle could say turn left. And then you would just keep writing it just like this. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Cool beans.